Welcome to the Coin Club, a podcast brought to you by the Seven House Coins, Currency, Bullion, where we discuss everything related to numismatics. I'm glad to have you along with me for my journey and excited to share with you the very best of numismatics.
Hello, everyone, and a big welcome back to the Coin Club podcast, episode 18 to be exact. I hope everyone had a great holiday and your new year has started off fantastic. I spent Christmas with my parents and New Year's with my best friends. I even stayed awake to see the ball drop this year. I know you were all probably wondering what was going on. You haven't heard your normal bi-weekly episode since right before Christmas. Well, I decided to take a break myself and enjoy time with friends and family, and I even got a little roll hunting in while I was away. I know you were all listening, though. Got some new listeners to the show over that time, and I hope you're hooked. I can't tell you how satisfying that it was to sit down with nothing else to do but hunt. Did I get anything? Heck no. Well, nothing to speak of anyhow. Saw a few minor die cracks that I threw back in the mix, and some of those pesky die chips on the Shield Sense reverse, but nothing worth keeping. It was still enjoyable though, and I hope your time off was just as good as mine. While we were away, a ton of news came out, which you'll hear about pretty soon, and I've been scouting what to bring you in the World Coin Spotlight and the world of roll hunting. Way back in episode 6, we ended the episode speaking about the Susan B. Anthony dollar coin. And in this episode, we're going to end it off with a look at the last large dollar made by the United States Mint, the Eisenhower Dollar. Well, friends, welcome back to the podcast, and I hope you enjoy the show. In the world of news, some of the news will be a catch-up for all you guys and gals who are already in the know. However, one mention of note is that a legend in the coin community, Harvey Stack, passed away at the age of 93. Harvey had a long and storied career in the coin industry with a name that is familiar to many of you, Stack's Bowers Galleries. He started with the company Stack's Rare Coins when he was only 14 years old. The company actually transformed from a foreign exchange house founded by his great-grandfather in Lower Manhattan, circa 1858. He has many credits to his name. The major ones include developing a standardized grading system for appraising coins and lobbying Congress to get the ball rolling on the 50-state quarter program. Retiring in 2009, Harvey lived a long and prosperous life, engaging our community throughout and being a pillar in getting people interested in the hobby. Thanks for everything, Mr. Stacks. Let's hop on over the pond to one of my favorite world mints, Les Monnaies de Paris. Don't forget to get your orders in for the 2024 Paris Olympic coins. We spoke about them before, and I don't want you to miss out on these gems. They also introduced the €2 coin commemorating Jacques Chirac's 90th anniversary of his birth. Jacques was the mayor of Paris and the president of France for 2 terms. A major architect of European construction, he also oversaw the start of the euro in France in the year 2002. The Mint also has some pretty impressive offerings featuring Napoleon, so head on over and check them out. Our friends over at PCGS have introduced their first quarterly specials for the new year. The first is going to appeal to all you national banknote collectors out there. Grade your national notes dated 1863 to 1929 with a savings of up to $9. Discounts apply to the various grading levels you select from economy to express. You'll find savings in each level of submission, maximum of 20 banknotes per submission. The next offer they have out is a 5-for-1 deal. For all you modern coin lovers out there, you'll want to hop on this one for sure. Submit 5 modern coins for grading and get one of those graded for free. Not sure on the max limit for submission on this one, but the example they give is submit 20 coins for grading and only pay the submission fees for 16. Pretty good deal if I must say so myself. Since we're starting off the new year with some new listeners, I'll also recommend you to take a look at their membership levels. And if you're considering having a coin graded, check it out. They start at $69 for the silver membership and range up to the platinum, which is $249. PCGS also holds the honor of having graded the most valuable coin that was sold at the New York International Numismatic Convention. Remember Harvey Stacks? Well, the Stacks Bowers Auction Gallery sold this one, an 80 ducats Polish coin, which was graded PCGS AU50, came in at a whopping $900,000. Can you imagine? The Rare Coin Market Report for January-February is also out. It features Fujio cents, a collector spotlight on Cole and David Lawrence, white-hot collectible Canadian coins, and the coin of the issue, which is an 1863 $3 Indian princess. CCG, the Certified Collectibles Group, which owns NGC, the other top-tier grading company, and the world's largest grading service for coins, is looking to hire top stamp experts. The news isn't always about coins, folks. No, I'm not going to change the name of the podcast either. If you're up for a task and know your stuff, give them a shout. They're looking to hire world-class stamp experts to grow their stamp authentication and grading services that they offer. Not only are they hiring in this area, they are staying competitive in the market by raising their minimum salaries and offering sign-on bonuses throughout the company for new jobs. It's high demand in the job market right now, folks. Last year, the company, over all of its various grading and authentication areas, graded over 9 million collectibles. 9 million! That's crazy. Heritage Auctions is hosting a classic silver and gold commemoratives auction slated for February 7th. Even if you're not a collector of these, you should check them out. Look at some of the featured ones they have on their site. I never knew some of these existed, and they're pretty cool. The first featured coin they have listed is a 1936 50-cent piece from New York, graded MS68 by NGC. Very cool coin. The other one that sticks out to me is a 1937 50-cent Antietam commem, graded MS67 Plus by PCGS. This one has some beautiful edge toning. I would love to have that one for my collection, but I'm sure it's going to be way out of my price range. I just like to keep an eye on these auctions and see where they go. Not as exciting as being in person at a coin auction, but still, nonetheless. It's very interesting to see the hammer prices on these beauties. Okay, let's update you on the Coin of the Year Awards, or better known as the Cody Awards. The most historically significant coin was won by none other than the United States Mint, the $1 silver women's suffrage coin. Best Contemporary Event coin was won by my favorite world mint, La Monnaie de Paris, for its €10 silver Peace and Victory coin. The Austrian Mint took home the best gold coin with their €100 the Gold of the Pharaohs coin. Best silver coin went to Latvia with the €5 silver linden leaf. This one's pretty cool. Google it and check it out. It's actually a piece in the shape of a leaf. Best crown coin went to La Monnaie de Paris with their €10 silver Champs-Élysées coin, which is gorgeous. Best circulating coin went to South African Mint with their R2, nickel-plated copper core, 25 years constitutional democracy coin. Freedom and security of the person. Another win for the Austrian Mint. We have the best bimetallic coin with their €25 silver niobium big data coin. Wait, there's more wins for the Austrian Mint. The most artistic coin went to their honor as well, a €20 silver centenary of the Salzburg Festival coin. Barbados took home the most innovative coin with their $5 silver enamel color water transfer print blue marble coin. This one is a real stunner, an absolute stunner. I would love to have this beauty. It features the earth in a sea of blue ocean. Lovely coin. Last but not least is the most inspirational coin, going to once again Latvia. A €5 silver, black color print with gold plating, personal freedom coin. Congratulations to all the winners. Well deserved, and please check them all out. Something I thought I'd throw in here for all you old video game nerds, me included. APMEX is selling a 40th anniversary silver BU coin commemorating the game Galaga. It is limited to 10,000 in the silver BU version. Colorized silver has a limit of 1,981 coins. The proof silver has a mintage of 140, and the gold BU coin has a mintage of only 40 coins total. If you're an email subscriber to the United States Mint and a lover of the American Eagle, and you're a procrastinator like me, sorry, but you got some bad news. They let us all know that due to an extremely high demand for the new design, they have reached their limit for the enrollment for the 2022 American Eagle Silver 1-ounce proof coin from San Francisco and the 2022 American Eagle Silver 1-ounce uncirculated coin from the West Point Mint. Secondary market will be all that us procrastinators have for this one, unfortunately. The Mint also has started to ship the very first women quarters through their enrollment programs. Maya Angelou is the first one in the series to come out. January 6th saw the release of the Negro Leagues baseball coins, and the next offer will be February 7th with the American Women Quarters 2022 rolls and bags of the Maya Angelou quarters. February 9th will see the Native American $1 coins, rolls, bags, and boxes, and the last offering before the next podcast, well, actually if I get my act together, on the date of the next podcast, February 14th, we'll see the release of the James K. Polk Presidential Silver Medal. A huge intro into the year 2022 with news from all over the world. Well, it's time for none other than the World Coin Spotlight. Can you take a guess at where we're headed to next? Yeah, you probably can. Further south where it's warm, much warmer than the cold weather we've been having up here in the north. Let's take a look at a coin from the country of Panama. Panama is bordered to the north by our last spotlight host of Costa Rica, the east by the Caribbean Sea, the south by Colombia, and the west by the Pacific Ocean. A very important country to world shipping routes, as it is the host to the Panama Canal. Inhabited first by indigenous people, the Spanish colonists arrived and took over in the 16th century, which lasted until 1821. Panama, through its history after the realm of the Spanish colonists, fought for independence from being a subdivision of Gran Colombia, and from 1903 to 1968 was a constitutional democracy. There is a lot of history in this country that involves wars and battles, and one of note, along with the others mentioned above, was the United States invasion of Panama on December 20th, 1989. Under the auspices of safeguarding the lives of U.S. citizens, defending democracy and human rights, combating drug trafficking, and securing the neutrality of the Panama Canal, Operation Just Cause took place. 23 U.S. servicemen were killed in action and 324 were wounded. 450 Panamanian servicemen were killed, along with an estimate of hundreds to 4,000 citizens dying in the conflict as well. The conflict ended on January 31, 1990. World outcry by the United Nations calling it a flagrant violation of international law and of the independence, sovereignty, and territorial integrity of the states. Today, Panama is a presidential representative democratic republic. With all the strife and war that this country has had to deal with in its history, we're going to take a look at a coin minted in 1981, which has a more peaceful denotation to it. The 1981 20 Balboas coin. On the obverse of this coin, you will see the great coat of arms of Panama with 9 stars just above it. The name of the country represented grandly above the top of the coin and 20 Balboas at the bottom. The fineness and mint mark are located just below the shield in small print. The reverse features a peaceful design with a butterfly centered in the middle, the year 1981 on the top, and a wreath of flowers surrounding the edges. This coin was actually minted at the Franklin Mint in Pennsylvania. It is minted in 500 fine gold and weighs in at 2.14 grams, and it is a round proof coin. Okay, folks, let's move on to the segment that many of you love or love to hate, roll hunting. We started right out of the gate with years and dates to look for on various denominations, and I did get some feedback in regards to how I went about this. New listeners and roll hunters, for that matter, are extremely eager to jump right in and start hunting for errors, but they don't really know what they're looking for. It's true. I was one of those people back in the day. I had a list of dates and errors that I was searching for, but no clue how those errors were made, the process that caused them, or any faint clue as to what I was even doing. It's pretty natural for someone to get into the hobby and jump in with both feet. As seasoned roll hunters and error collectors, we all get the questions on, is this an error? And to be honest, at times it can get a little daunting answering all those questions. But if you really want to help people out, my best advice is to guide them through the process on how errors are made and what exactly to look for when spotting them. And then, and only then, with a little guidance on your part, you'll hopefully spark them to gain some more knowledge and eventually be able to discern if what they have is a true error by themselves. To start off this first segment of roll hunting in 2022, I'm going to go down through a list of words that is familiar to all you seasoned roll hunting veterans out there, but is probably Latin to the newbies. The first one we'll take a look at is one many of you have already found through your hunting journeys. A round piece of metal with no design on it in whatever denomination you're hunting for. I use this vague terminology because people often misuse or combine the words blank planchet, when in reality they are two separate things. A blank is a metal disc that has been punched out of the metal strip in whatever denomination that you're hunting for. If you find one of these, it is considered to be a Type 1. A Type 2 is referred to as a planchet. It is a blank or a Type 1 that has been through the upset milling machine. You will see the raised edge along the rim, making it a Type 2 planchet, ready to be minted. A broad-struck coin happens when the press loses the collar that holds the planchet in place while it's hammering the coin between the dies. If you have a broad-struck coin, it can be very evident as without the collar, the metal of the coin will ooze outward. Another term you might hear is brockage. A brockage happens when a coin that has already been minted sticks to the die and essentially presses itself onto the next planchet fed into the machine. It makes a mirror image of the new coin from the one that was struck. These are pretty rare in the world of collecting. Off-center struck coins are easy to spot, but do you know how this happens? When the planchet does not align with the die before it's hammered, this is an offset coin strike. Both sides of the coin will be the same, and I mention this because many new collectors can confuse off-center struck coins with misaligned die strikes. A misaligned die strike happens when the hammer die is not aligned to the coining chamber. When this happens, only one side of the coin will have the off-center appearance, hence the confusion with some new collectors. If you see one side that is off-center and not the other, you have a misaligned die strike. Clip planchet errors are another cool one to look for. Mostly found in collections, and I mention this because I've never found one in circulation before myself. These coins come about when the blanks are punched out of the roll of metal, and at times, some of the metal stock will overlap, creating a crescent-shaped clip on the blank being punched out. You have all different types of clip planchets, ranging from elliptical, ragged, small, large, and multiple clips on a coin. If you think you have one, beware because these can often be faked. Something you will need to look for on this type of error that accompanies the clip is what is called the Blakesley's effect. You will see weakness on the opposite side of the coin that the clip occurred on, which is caused when the striking of the coin occurs. Mule coin is the next error I'll explain to you. This happens when two dies that are not meant to be used together are set up to strike a coin. One of the more famous ones I know you've heard of is the Sacagawea Dollar Statehood Quarter Mule Coin, which sold for a whopping $117,500 in August of 2014. It has one side of the coin featuring the obverse Washington portrait of a statehood quarter and the reverse with the eagle of the Sacagawea Dollar. Super rare to find. Double struck or multiple struck coins. This happens when the coin is struck more than once. You will see multiple images of whatever denomination you're hunting for on the coin. Die adjustment strike coins happen when the press operator is setting up the pressure used to strike the coins. To make sure you have the very best, most crisp detailed coin you can get, The operator needs to adjust the pressure on the press to get this correct. In doing so, some coins will appear weakly struck and may work their way out into circulation. Probably the most confusing coin that new hunters look for are the double die coins. This is considered a variety. New collectors might think that this happens when a coin is struck twice. However, that is absolutely not the case. The image that creates the doubling is actually on the die itself. It cannot happen any other way and be called a double die. This happens when the design images are misaligned during the transfer from the master hub to the master dies to the working hubs and working dies. Mostly occurring on coins struck by doubled working dies, there are different classes of doubling that you will see as well. So not only do you need to sharpen your eyes to find those doubled dies, you need to be familiar with what class of doubling you're looking at. There are 9 to be exact, and I won't get into the hairy details of each, but I will list them all. That will be your homework for the new roll hunters out there searching for double die coins. Google the classes of doubling and start reading and knowing what to look for. The 9 classes are as follows. Class 1, which is a rotated hub doubling. Class 2, distorted hub doubling. Class 3, design hub doubling. Class 4, offset hub doubling. Class 5, pivoted hub doubling. Class 6 is distended hub doubling. Class 7 is modified hub doubling. Class 8 is tilted hub doubling, and Class 9 is single squeeze. The Konica website has some great explanations of all of these, and it's a place you should check out to learn more. For extra credit, send me an email at the7houseccb.com and tell me what class of doubling the famous 1955 Lincoln Cent double die is. You know, the one that jumps right off the page at you. You can't miss that one. I would also love to hear about all of the other era coins that you have found while roll hunting, so send me a message and let me know what you found. Hope this helps you out and gets you started on that roll hunting journey with some basic knowledge. Buy yourself a red book, get on the internet, and research everything in regards to how the minting process works. I guarantee you, if you ask a seasoned collector a question on your mint area you think you found, and you back it up with some knowledge you garnered through some research, you're more likely to get help than if you just say, "Hey, is this an error?" Happy hunting, friends! The very last large dollar the United States Mint has made will be the feature of this episode of the Coin Club podcast. The Eisenhower Dollar coin is either loved or hated. Take it as you will. People often refer to it as the Ike dollar, and they even incorrectly refer to it as a silver dollar. Most of the times that's incorrect. These were mostly made from clad planchets, but 40% silver ones do exist. However, if you go up to your bank and ask them for a silver Eisenhower and they actually give you an Ike dollar, the chances are you have a clad version in your hands, if they even have any to give you at all to begin with. I'll refer to it as the Ike dollar throughout, as that is my preferred term. So here you go, folks. Take a listen to the history that brought us the Ike dollar. This series of coins was issued from 1971 to 1978. However, the story starts way before that. The United States was without a circulating dollar coin for 36 years. The last dollar coin minted was the Peace Dollar, who ended its reign of the last 90% silver dollars in 1935. The supply of these dollars was sufficient for around 25 years or so in the areas of the nation that still like to use them, particularly out west and in and around the casino regions of Nevada. The price of silver was low enough that the silver in them did not amount to the face value of the coins, hence there was no real interest in the public hoarding them for their silver value. Up until the very beginning of the 60s, this had been the case. However, silver prices were on the rise, bringing the value of these coins to over their face value. The public started to hoard them and take them out of circulation. In August of 1964, Congress passed legislation to mint more silver dollars. This will probably be another feature on the podcast, so we won't get into all the fine details of this legislation. However, these coins never made it to the public. The general population continued to pull the silver coins out of circulation, and we still were without a large circulating dollar coin. That is until the wheels started spinning in 1969. President Nixon and then Mint Director Mary Brooks wanted to see another dollar coin put into circulation, and they started the process that would eventually lead to the production of the Ike dollar. Phone calls and persuading amongst politicians to get a new dollar coin into circulation took place. On March 28, 1969, the famous World War II general and president Dwight David Eisenhower passed away. Florence Dwyer, a New Jersey Republican representative, proposed using his likeness on the coin. With all that talk about getting Eisenhower on the coin was occurring, the Joint Commission on Coinage recommended in the spring of 1969 that the United States strike a new large dollar coin with Eisenhower on it. The large change from its predecessor, the peace dollar, was that this coin would have no silver in it. The circulating coin would be made entirely of a clad composition. The House Banking Committee met on October 3, 1969, and passed legislation to make this so, with the provision of no silver in the coin. All the parties involved wanted to get this ball rolling before Eisenhower's birthday, which was on October 14th. As simple as it would seem to pass a bill to get this rolling, there was some contentious conversation regarding the use of silver and the use of clad in its production. Many legislators spoke out against the use of an entirely clad coin, stating that it would be a great disservice to such a man as Eisenhower to put his likeness on a coin made of scrap metal. There were two bills at the time, one moving through the House of Representatives and the other through the Senate. Both legislative groups passed their respective bills, so now we're in an impasse, with the House voting for a clad coin and the Senate voting for a 40% silver coin. Mamie Eisenhower, the wife of the president, even got in on the debate in the Senate and told them that Dwight had loved to give out silver dollars as mementos from the year of his birth, 1890. Although this was going at a relatively fast pace in regards to the speed at which government operates, yet another person jumped in to add one more request to this large dollar that was in the works. Texas Representative Robert Casey introduced legislation on October 29, 1969, to commemorate the recent success of the Apollo 11 mission on the coin. He wanted it to read, "We came in peace for all mankind," and the Mint politely informed him that this would not work as there was not enough room to inscribe this one on the coin. In a grand compromise between the House and the Senate, in March of 1970, they both came to an agreement that the circulating coin would be made from a clad composition, and to honor the greatness of the man that would appear on the coin, there would be an offering of a 40% silver version to collectors. The government at the time had enough silver in its reserves that no new silver needed to be purchased to produce the collector's version of this coin. 47.4 million troy ounces of silver to be exact. How many of you stackers can even come close to that? Now wait, it's not over, folks. Of course it's not. Who would expect a drama-free end to any legislative action? Representative Patman from the House of Representatives was strongly against any silver going forward in U.S. coinage, and he blocked the bill in the House. Once again, in September of 1970, the Senate voted on it again, and it passed. The reason it passed, and not blocked once again, was that they gave Patman what he wanted, by including provisions to get rid of the silver he so vehemently did not want in coinage, and give the rest of the silver dollars back to the GSA. Done deal, or at least you think. President Nixon was not going to sign the bill and was just going to allow it to float into law, as many bills do. However, some very smart congressional aides knew that if he did not sign it, essentially, it would be considered what they call a pocket veto, and the bill would not pass. Up late for New Year's Eve celebration, they got it to the president, and as the story goes, he signed it minutes before the deadline of midnight. Talk about cutting it close. We almost didn't have an Ike dollar because Tricky Dicky wasn't aware of how things worked. Go figure. It all worked out, though, in the end. Frank Gasparo, the chief mint engraver, realized a long-time dream of his by being able to design both sides of the Ike dollar. At the Ticker Tape Parade in New York on June 19th of 1945, celebrating the Allied victory in World War II, Gasparo caught a fleeting glimpse of General Eisenhower and quickly made a sketch of him. He used this as his inspiration for the obverse of the dollar, presented it to Mamie Eisenhower, and along with the instruction to keep the obverse similar to the portrait design for the Washington quarter, the depiction of President Eisenhower went through. For the reverse, Gasparo presented two designs for consideration, one a heraldic eagle and one to commemorate the lunar landing. The reverse winner was the lunar landing version. However, it was not without debate. The Ike dollar made for circulation is composed of a copper nickel clad planchet weighing in at 22.68 grams, and the silver 40% planchet weighs in at 24.624 grams. It is, of course, a large dollar with a diameter of 38.1 millimeters, and it is a 2.58 millimeter in thickness coin. You can get these coins in a variety of presentations outside of the circulation issues, mostly described with the packaging they came in, blue and brown Ikes, and there is even a bicentennial issue as well. The total number of circulation strike Ikes throughout its run from 71 to 78 was 686,195,621 coins. The total mintage for the uncirculated Eisenhower silver dollars was 17,756,201 coins, and the total mintage for the proof Eisenhower dollars was 31,142,731 coins. Well, folks, thanks again for tagging along with me on this episode of the Coin Club podcast. I know it's been a while, but I really do appreciate all the love, support, and your listenership. I hope you're still collecting what you love, listening to your favorite podcast, and most importantly, staying healthy. I hope to have you along with me for the next episode of the Coin Club podcast. Thank you for joining me on this episode of the Coin Club podcast. I had a great time with you today and look forward to sharing with you on the next episode. If you've liked what you've heard, please consider supporting me on Patreon at the Coin Club Podcast. Please follow me on social media. I'm on Facebook at the 7 House Coins Currency Bullion and also on Instagram at the same name. You can also go to my website, 7houseccb.com, and give me some feedback on this episode or some suggestions on what you would like to see on future episodes. As always, I'm grateful to all of you for your support and look forward to seeing you the next time on the Coin Club podcast.